Main reason why I like Hospitable so much is because it has an MCP connection. And MCP is a way for AI agents to connect and interact with the property management system. So that makes it much easier for you to analyze your performance, to get feedback, and to give your AI agent instructions to do things and automate stuff in Hospitable, which is one of the leading property management systems. And I'm going to show you some of the things that can be done with Claude and the MCP connection to Hospitable. So let's jump right in. First of all, you go straight to the integrations section in the settings of Hospitable, and then you follow the setup instructions, which are really simple and easy to follow. So I won't get into the setup because that's something that you can do easily. But once you have the setup covered, then you go into Claude and start interacting with Claude and asking Claude questions, giving Claude instructions. So let's explore some of the things that we could do with that live account that I have.
So I'm now in Claude. I've connected my MCP server and I'm ready to go. So I've already put in a prompt to give me the status, the last few guest reviews. So it pulled the 25 most recent guest reviews, and it came up with a bunch of stuff that I need to take care of in order to make the guest experience better. The guest experience is very important as a hospitality essential, but also in order to keep your property premium and being profitable, being able to attract good rates and good guests. So it's essential to stay on top of the things that are flagged. It's hard to process all this data manually. An AI agent is perfect for pulling the data automatically and giving you all the fixes that you need to take care of, prioritizing them, and even giving you the amount of guests, telling you the amount of guests that have a problem, and if it's a problem that's been repeating itself over time. So here, for example, there was a refund given for the hot tub, and of course, the AI agent is warning that the hot tub not being fixed will contribute to loss of revenue through the energy costs. Also, there's a few noise issues in the kitchen and stuff like that. So the owner will have to pass on this information to the owner so that the owner gets a clear picture of what they need to take care of, so that we can continue to have this highly rated property, which has over 100 reviews and has 4.95 rating or something like that. So essentially, there are other prompts that we can incorporate, which involve daily operations, automated turnaround and task assignment, and guest review and feedback analysis. There are other creative ways to use MCP, but we're just going to cover those in this video. And by the way, the prompts for all these workflows, I'll leave a link in the description below where you can get a prompt for the workflows that we're going to cover here. So for daily operations, I'm going to put in this prompt here, and this will allow act as my short-term rental operations manager using Hospitable MCP. Please generate a daily briefing by performing the following actions, and I've listed all the actions that it needs to perform, right? And so I'm going to go ahead and hit that, put the prompt in, and it's going to go about doing its business. And what it will do is we can make this a repeating scheduled task. So every morning at a certain time, you get this information, which will keep you on top of what's going on with all your rentals. And so I think it's a huge thing, and it's highly useful to keep you on top of your business, right? So it's doing its thing right now, and we're going to take a look at. So we're going to allow it once here. It's going to give us this information and help us to stay organized. Okay, so now it's giving me a list of tasks and urgent action items. It's part of a daily briefing, and it's telling me about a particular guest, and there are some issues with her stay. Her cleaning fee was actually refunded. Yeah, so there's some serious issues here. And so we need to address those head on before the review window opens somehow, to try and offset any kind of negative review. So this is useful. There are some other issues here. This property is also doubles an event property, so there's some off-channel issues here as well from Airbnb. Brand separation breach. Yeah, okay. We have a brand blueprint for this property, so any behavior from the agent will be compliant with the brand. So that's very important, to be consistent with your brand and ensure that the way that you operate, the way that you interact with your guest is faithful to your brand. Automated messaging for 50% off. Okay, yeah. So we set up a system where when there's an orphan night, this property doesn't allow any less than 2 night stays. So when there's an orphan night, we fire a message off to the guest who's staying and ask them if they're interested in staying an extra night at a steep discount. That way we get something for that night instead of having it left open, right? We have a window here of nights that are open as well, and we have inquiries for the window as well. And we also have the thing about the gap analysis, guest message inquiries. So it's quite robust here. Operational tasks and cleaning, 2 data discrepancies here. Okay, so this is hugely valuable, and it gives you a picture from every day of what you're dealing with and what are the things that you need to prioritize to help you save a lot of time and give you a lot of clarity. Now, the next workflow is automation and turnaround assignment. So I'm not going to actually run it, but I'm going to show you what it will do by just pasting in the prompt here. So I need to coordinate turnaround for the property, check-in date, and please search active listings, reservations, confirm the property is vacant the night before. check availability on property scope for my team members, see who is assigned to the property, create a new deep clean turnaround for this task, schedule and assign it to available cleaner, and confirm once the task has been created and assigned successfully. Again, this is something that can be repeatedly done, right? So that's very useful. Of course, I'm not going to fire this one now, but you can find this in the description below where you can get this prompt. Another prompt here is your guest review feedback and analysis. So I kind of went through that before with my initial thing, but this is a more structured prompt. So I'm going to put it in. Let's handle recent guest reviews. Perform the following steps. Fetch the 5 most recent public reviews across all my properties. Summarize any recurring complaints. Compliments. List all pending host reviews for guests and recent checkout, etc., etc. So I'm going to run that and let's see how this performs. Okay, so 5 most recent public reviews. They're all 5-star reviews, I believe. Yeah, and cleanliness was given a 5 for all of them, but value, one of them gave a 3 for value. So that's something that we need to look into and kind of get a sense of why they felt the value was not up to where, at the top level. And that's something, when you see value in your reviews as something being declining, then that has to ring an alarm for you. It gives signal that there are some things that you really need to pay attention to. Either you're trying to attract the wrong guest, and your property is not suited to that particular type of guest, and you have to be clearer in your copy and your advertising and stuff, that your property is for a specific type of guest who's looking for a specific type of experience, or you legitimately did not deliver on what you promised. So we have to look at this guest and see where it is we fell short and why it is that they didn't feel that they got value for money. Because we obviously want to charge a premium, and we're not charging a premium because we're greedy, but because we have to cover the costs of running the operation, and we also have to justify the real estate investment. So that's so important. So it runs over recurring problems and recurring complaints. And as a hospital business, we really should not be having recurring complaints. Any kind of complaints that are persistent, we need to tackle those and ensure that we are not seen as being lackadaisical and not caring for our guests. Because if those things come up consistently and people read those things, they're going to think that we don't care about our guests. We're not hospitality pros. We're not oriented towards good hospitality. So we need to cover those things. So it goes to this flagging of the value rating, pending host reviews coming up, and what review window expires, and so forth. So yeah, so these are some very useful workflows. I just wanted to cover these things with you and show you how valuable Hospitable MCP connection is to have an agentic presence in helping you manage your properties. I will go over more features in other videos, but I invite you to join our community where we share ways to automate and to make your property run smarter. SDR Booster is a hybrid co-hosting AI automation agency. So we help ambitious owners do more with less using technology, agentic AI, smart automations, and processes to run their properties much more efficiently and bring their properties actually into the modern realm of operating. So if you're interested in that, like, follow, and join our community. And yeah, I'm David Scott, founder of SDR Booster. See you next time.